Well, it's time for your market updates with Herenia Capital Advisors Portfolio Manager, PETRI Redelingshuys. PETRI, good afternoon, and I leave the floor over to you.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. And yeah, well, markets are taking off, at least in the US. Let me just quickly pull up my price feed here. Markets are actually pushing for new highs in the US. So we've had a bit of a, I guess, disappointing start to the week, but we're doing a little bit better than what we have. So far, the top 40 index is up just under 0.5% for the day. The Resource 20 index is up around 0.6%. Industrial 25 index is up 0.1%. Financial 15 index adds 1.2% on the day. Precious metals and mining index also up around 0.9%. And then the JSE retailers index finally having a decent day, 1.5% higher. So comparing that to the rest of the world, in Europe, we have mostly green. FTSE 100 index up 0.6%. German market, the DAX is up, or the DAX index at least, is up 0.9%, while the French market CAC 40 index is up around just shy of 1.5%, in fact 1.4% up. In the US, we are pushing all-time record highs on the Nasdaq at the moment, up 0.9%. S&P 500 also reaching into record territory, up almost 0.6%. Dow Jones Industrial average 0.75% higher, or almost 0.8% at this stage. And the Russell 2000 also up around 0.5%. So a good day in markets indeed, right? Commodity prices also kind of going nowhere, to tell you the truth, but green at least. 0.1% higher in the gold price, currently $1,784.85 a fine ounce. Platinum price also adding about 0.2% to trade at $1,088.55. Palladium and rhodium both also green, up 0.5% and 3% respectively. Copper price under a little bit of pressure, unfortunately. That's down around 1%, just under 1%, but not enough to get the market in a bad mood, if that makes sense. In energy prices, the Brent crude oil price is slightly softer by 0.1%, still trading comfortably above $75, currently $75.12 a barrel as that trades in London. Its US counterpart, West Texas Intermediate crude oil, down 0.2%, trading at $72.94 a barrel. Then in the world of currencies, the rand, not really going anywhere today. Slightly stronger versus the dollar, trading currently at 14.19 rand. Slightly weaker versus the euro at 16.96 rand, and about 1/3% stronger versus the pound at 19.76. So no real major movement. And likewise with the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, believe it or not, relatively stable over the last 24 hours, trading currently $33,956 a coin. Overall, it seems as though the market is trying to end the week on a very strong note, which is encouraging.
Yeah, well, one entity that ended off on a strong note last night, PETRI, was Old Mutual, the unbundling of obviously some of its shares within a Nedbank. Do you want to just give us an update with regards to that and your reaction to it?
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the live pricing here. So Old Mutual, to give you an idea, it is off the highs, right? So it was trading much higher earlier today. It was trading well above 14. It was trading all the way up to about 14 rand. 13 was, I think, the high of the day. Currently, it's at 13 rand 67. So that's big movements, and it's still up around 6% on the day. Nedbank also having a relatively decent day. That is, well, up 1.1%. So essentially what's happening is that Old Mutual owns a big stake in Nedbank, right? They are unbundling a portion of that, basically selling a portion of that, or just releasing it from their share. What's going to happen is if you own Nedbank or Old Mutual shares, you're going to get, for every couple of Old Mutual shares that you have, you'll get one Nedbank share. I'm not 100% sure what the ratio is going to be, but basically they're unlocking that share. So if you're an Old Mutual shareholder, you get some free Nedbank shares, because in effect you do have Old Mutual owns a portion of that. So with that unbundling, that releases some unlocks value, as is the term. So basically what that does is you get these Nedbank shares that have the opportunity to move independently. And because of that, there is a slight discount generally with companies that hold investments in other businesses. Those investments that are held in the other business is generally held at a discount, right? So it unlocks value for shareholders and it pushes up the price of Old Mutual. So I guess it's not really too much of a big deal. It gives Old Mutual slightly less influence over Nedbank, but they still do own a significant portion of it. I think after the split, they're still own around 7% of Nedbank in total. So it just unlocks a little bit of value for Old Mutual shareholders. They get some Nedbank shares, they get a higher share price. It's not really the world's biggest news. I think it's been sort of a strategic objective of Old Mutual to unbundle Nedbank for some time. It's not the first time they've released some shares. So they're just sort of, letting go more and more of it as time goes by.
Yeah, not a major earthquake in terms of that move, but it's quite significant in the banking sector right here in South Africa. PETRI Redinghuys, we'd like to say thank you so much for joining us again, and we'll see you tomorrow for the wrapping up of the week's markets.
Thank you very much.
It's an absolute pleasure. PETRI Redinghuys from Herenia Capital Advisors, the portfolio manager, just giving us an update with regards to today's markets. Well, coming up after the break, if you are a Kaizer Chiefs fan and a loyal, ardent supporter of them, you have every reason to smile. That will be up next with our sports update.